to the Zoom. All right, guys, looks like we're here. Let's get this set up so you guys can see. All right. Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Jennifer Soto. We are live for Jean's Fundraiser Fiesta. I'm actually going to do one more thing. I'm going to pin my video so that it is the big video on the screen during the live. That's important. Pin. There we go. All right. Just because, I like to look at myself really big now. So anyway, my name's Jennifer, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. If you're watching the replay, comment below. If you're watching on Facebook, comment below. Let me know what your where you are and where you're watching from, and let me know what your favorite Pampered Chef thing is, or if you even know what Pampered Chef is. So you're coming live from my kitchen. I live in Colorado Springs. I met Jean. Remind me, I know we met at a party. Whose party was it?
Yes, but that's all I remember.
I'd have to go back and look. It was because I know we've known each other over a year. So anyway, yes. Jean is passionate about the American Cancer Society and their fundraising and that they do for Relay for Life in the spring and May timeframe, and then making strides in the fall. So we are getting together. This is our second time to get together for a fun fundraiser. And we just wanted to do something a little bit different. We talked about this last year, and we just couldn't match our calendars up because we're both so crazy. So Jean, I don't know if you're muted or not, but tell everybody kind of your passion about where that kind of comes from.
Well, I actually started out in Relay for Life, and I wasn't even a survivor like I am now, or a caregiver or anything like that. It just, I don't know, it was just a mission that touched me very much. And now I'm 20 years later, and I'm a 13-year cancer survivor myself. And I lost my little brother to prostate cancer, and I lost my best friend to breast cancer. And unfortunately, I've lost a whole host of other people that, I would be on here forever naming them. But the flip side of that is I know a lot of survivors. And so my motto is I'm a voice for those who no longer have a voice. And so it's been a passion of mine, like I said, 20 years later. And I just did my Relay for Life of USA. And right now we're sitting at over $10,000. So I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome. We want to add to that total. So how exciting. Yes. So I'm sorry for all of that loss. It's tough. And when you're in that community, you're just going to be meeting a lot more people, and that's a potential experience. But I love that you're doing something about it. I mean, there's nothing better than taking some negative emotion that we feel and turning it into something positive. So cheers to you, and congrats on your 13 years as a survivor. That's great. So
thank you.
All right. So a little bit about me. My name's Jennifer. Like I said, Jen Soto. There's so many Jennifers. I was born in 1970, and there's so many Jennifers. A lot of people just call me Jen Soto, like a 7-letter name. It's my first and last name together. That's fine. You can call me whatever you want to, except for not Jenny. Anyway, I've been with Pampered Chef for 27 years, I think, in this past February. Yeah, I started because I wanted everything. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I had 3 little kids. I had a 3-year-old and then twins that were brand new. And so that's kind of when I got started. And I stick around because I still love all the products, but I really love my ability to make an impact with people, whether it's inspire them to get in their kitchens, or whether it's to help them make some extra income, or to help with fundraising, those kind of things. I love it. I love connecting with people. My business has looked a lot different since COVID. I do a lot more online parties, but I still love to do in-home parties as well. So this is the closest I can get to an in-home party for somebody who lives in Florida, and I live in Colorado Springs. I used to live in Florida. Fun fact, I've lived in the Northwest Florida area 2 separate times. 2006 to 2009, I lived in Mary Esther, and 2017 to 2020, I lived in Navarre. So when we came back, I told my husband I need to be 10 minutes from my front door to the sands. And so that was the rule. We could not look at anything that was in the northern part of Valley by the Sea. Like, it had to be very direct. So we found our house. We thought we were going to stay there forever. And then 2020 happened. Things were crazy. My husband was active duty, and And we ended up moving up here to Colorado, which is where my family is. So this is now where we're going to stay forever. So that's kind of fun. All right. So we're going to make some nachos, some salsa, and some guacamole today. That is the plan. And I'm watching my time because I can talk a lot. So we're going to try and trim this down. So I am from Texas originally. And so I firmly believe that any day, any time of the day is good for nachos, salsa, and guacamole and margaritas. It doesn't matter. I've lived all over the world, so it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So that's kind of my mantra. My husband laughs. He tells people Jennifer could eat tacos. And Jennifer could eat Mexican food 3 times a day. It is very true. So, but we're going to start with making our chicken for our nachos. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got my pan over here. This is, let me tell you about this pan. This is one of our stainless non-stick pans. I don't know if you can kind of see the bottom. It looks like it didn't get, my husband's in charge of dishes. And so usually this goes in the dishwasher and it doesn't look like there's anything in the bottom, but I cooked some chicken in it last night for the week. We're going to cook some more chicken in it tonight or today. So let me go ahead and turn this on. The nonstick coating is great and it has raised. Let me grab another pan so I can show you really up close and personal. Okay. You can kind of see it's kind of, if you're familiar with the Hexclad brand, it's kind of like that. And so it's got nonstick coating, but it's got the stainless raised. So you get those pieces and what we call fond, those stuff in the bottom of the pan that you could pour some wine or some chicken broth or something into and deglaze it and make it into a sauce. That is a really great way if you overcook your chicken, like just make some sauce. So there's a little trick for you. Sauces, pan sauces don't have to be hard to make. A lot of people are terrified of making pan sauces, but that doesn't have to be hard. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do for this chicken these days, super thick. I don't know if you can tell, but this is about 1 inch thick. It takes forever to cook chicken that is 1 inch thick. Also, chicken at serving is 3 ounces. And so make your chicken 3 ounces. So we're gonna cut it in half. We're just gonna fillet it. This is the close and cut. We're gonna stick it in here and fillet it. I just realized I wanted to cut the tomatoes first, but good news, I have a second one of these. I don't have to wash it. And I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me, one more. Nope. Okay. So it is very windy here today in Colorado. And so that means that all of the junk in the air is out. I have a little scratchy voice a little bit. And I think I'm going to cut this little piece. I don't know if you guys can see from where you are, but there's like a little piece of chewy stuff. And I'll just put that right here. So I'm using the prep board and I love the prep board. See how this little bin is right here? It's right here off the side, just right into the sink. I could have it pulled forward and then have the bins right here. I like to belly up to the counter. So, cause I'm not super tall, I'm 5'4". So I just squished these in here in the close and cut. And then notice I haven't touched the chicken at all. Then I'm just going to push, use an 8-inch knife. This comes as a set, the Santuk or the chef's knife and the close and cut. Now the close and cut can also be used for grapes. So when I do my chicken salad, I use it for grapes. I'm going to grab another one. So this is dirty, goes in the dishwasher. So put that down here. I happen to have another one right here. So I can show you. These press and they press evenly. So when you push that, whatever it is you're doing, tomatoes or whatever, when you press that in there, then it is going to press them evenly. So you get that middle cut. Super handy. All right. So we've got our chicken right here. Okay. I'm going to put some oil in that pan to kind of get that heated up because I already have the pan preheated. So we're just going to use some canola oil. This is it has just left my brain as to what this is called. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's an oil server dispenser. So you squeeze this and it goes up. And so I've got a tablespoon of oil in there right now. And I'm just going to put that in the bottom of the pan. Oh, the pan is nice and hot. Okay, so let's get these seasoned really quick. I'm just doing salt and pepper. Okay. Now I don't, my husband is allergic to onions. And so typically what I would suggest that you do if you're not allergic to onions and bell peppers is I would suggest putting some taco seasoning on here. Okay. Or putting some of our chili lime or everything but the taco seasoning or Southwestern seasoning, whatever Pampered Chef seasoning you like. But we can't do that at my house. So I'm just going to salt and pepper it. Sometimes I'll use oregano and garlic. I love using garlic on the chicken, but we're going to keep it simple today. So I like to batch cook chicken for the week. A lot of times I'll do it a couple of different ways, kind of depending on what I'm in the mood for. Like if it's going to be a chicken salad week and I want to have chicken salad for lunch every day, then what I will do is I'll cook them in my pressure cooker. You can't see the pressure cooker. It's right over there. But okay, so we're just going to stick these in here. Do a nice little sizzle. I think we'll do about 5 minutes each side. Okay. Sorry, my sink is a little congested over here. All right. So next thing that we want to do is we're going to, I like this. This is how I am able to not clean everything down every time. So we just have a new cutting mat. These come in a set of 3. All right. So we have, we're going to make our salsa mixture. So, okay. We're going to use the electric twist and chop. And we're going to put, I need to grab my iPad to make sure I have all the ingredients. Okay. I make this all the time, but I just want to make sure I have all the ingredients. Onion, jalapeno pepper, cilantro. Okay. So, put this right here.
How do you not make cilantro taste soapy?
It is a genetic thing, and so there's nothing you can do about it.
That's like the only reason I don't like it.
Yeah, so if cilantro tastes soapy to you, there's literally nothing you can do about it. I mean, although I don't know, did you hear about the gene splicing thing that they just did for that baby?
No.
Yes, eventually in the future, they'll be able to rewrite your genes so that you can have them do whatever you want them to do. So,
No, that doesn't surprise me.
okay. So this is kind of full as it is right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with this. And we're just going to pulse. All right. I love how fast that is. I mean, what was that?
That is fast.
Maybe.
That wasn't even 10 seconds.
Not even 10 seconds. Okay. I mean, so I could literally make tomato sauce in there. So here's what the tomatoes look like now. So we're going to go ahead and add our onion next. So I'm going to share with you a fun tip about onions. If you struggle with the onions making you cry, you can just take your knife and go around right here and just go around in a little circle. So I think I didn't mention to you what I love about this little thing right here. It holds all my trash. So I can put all my trash in there and that's just easy to dump and I'm not, having to make multiple trips. Having a trash bowl is really important. So, okay. So now what you do is you just stick your knife in there about 1 inch or so and cut that root out. And now it doesn't bother you at all. So that's kind of a quick tip. Okay, the chicken's doing great. And then having this thing right off the side, you just brush everything right in there. So we're just going to cut this in half. And I think I'm supposed to use a small onion. So I'm just going to use 1/4 of this actually. Actually, no. This is for me. I'm eating the salsa. So we'll do the whole one. And then we're going to do a whole jalapeno. So we're just going to cut the end off. Now, if you're sensitive to jalapenos, it's the membranes and stuff. Make sure you use gloves. Okay. Now you've seen a couple of different knives I've been using. These are our coated knives. And the coated knives are made out of Japanese steel. They're nice and sharp. They go in the dishwasher. That's my favorite thing about them. They're lightweight. They feel very comfortable. They're actually my favorite knife to use. Okay. I always grab them first. All right. So we've got those in there. So we will move this over to the side. Okay. We'll put the lid on and we'll pulse that. We want that a little bit finer. It's a little bit harder than the tomatoes, so it's good to do in seconds. Voila, that's all done. I'm really digging being over on this side of my kitchen. I am never doing videos on this side of my kitchen, but I like the view. I like the way it looks. So, okay. So now we've got these two right here mixed together. Are these four actually? And then I'm going to add a tablespoon of the chili lime seasoning. Usually I would add the chipotle seasoning, but I can't find my chipotle seasoning. So chili lime.
And your husband's allergic anyway.
Huh? You what? Yeah.
And your husband's allergic anyway.
Yeah, he can't eat the onions, so he can't have salsa. All right. Oh, I cut the lime and I meant to put the lemon. That's okay. The lime's for the other thing. So now we're going to use the citrus press to squeeze the lemon in here. Now, it seems counterintuitive to do the lemon. Lemon has a little bit of sweetness to it, so it makes a great salsa. And so this is perfect. This is just going to sit here. You can add whatever seasoning you want, whatever kind of, like whatever you like to have in here. Oh, I didn't put any garlic in here. I do need a garlic. So we'll just drop a clove of garlic in here. I think I might do 2 cloves. This is the garlic press. So with garlic, if you have never used fresh garlic, it tastes so much better than the garlic that is in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
And having a press like this just makes it so easy to use the garlic. I mean, did you notice I didn't even have to peel my clove? So, but your garlic, when you pick it, this is a bulb, and then you pull individual cloves off. Oops. All right, I'm going to flip these. They're looking good. I love that sear that gets on there.
That's nice.
Starting to drip. I didn't want it to drip too much. Okay. Although it's rare to have salmonella in your chicken, you don't want it to get on your food. All right. So our salsa is here. Let me taste it because that's one of the ways I do my salsa is to taste it. I'll put these videos, I'll put the links to the recipes. See that little dance?
Happy dance.
I mean, it tastes great. Okay. So we got that. Next thing we're gonna do is get our stuff ready for our nachos. Okay. I used that bowl and I was supposed to use that bowl for something else. So I'm gonna have to dig out another bowl in a second. Oh, actually, I think I have one down here. Pull this off. Next thing we're gonna do is our guacamole. So I got my order from Walmart today, and I said I want the softest avocados you have. So we'll see how that goes. I think this one's the softest. All right, so avocado. This is our avocado tool. Okay, so it has, this is not sharp. This is a little bit serrated right here. Just go around your avocado like this. Now these avocados are a little bit hard. So I am and twist, take that off. And then to get the seed out, you take the other end and you tap it and then you twist and it comes out. So easy. Okay. These are a little bit firm, but good news. Oh yeah, these are pretty firm. And I'm realizing there's one more tool that I forgot and I don't even know where it is. Let me think. I think it might be in the other room. I might have to go get it. Okay. There's that. Cut off the little nubby on the end there. But we're going to go ahead and put this in the food process or the electric twist and chop, and we'll get it chopped as finely as we can. And that's okay for guacamole for tonight. It'll be just fine. This is another one. My husband doesn't love avocado, so we get to use the avocado seasoning on it, which is fantastic. But I was prepared for this to not be ready, and did a little magic like that there. And I got some, look, guacamole, mushed avocado. So we'll go ahead and put this in here because I am going to chop it up. Because this can make it pretty fine. So then I can add it to my, stuff that I have right here. And then it'll be nice and, you know, it'll have some little chunks in it, which is good. Yeah, it's pretty good and mushy. We'll do it one more time. Again, it's still pretty dang fast. So one of the things I love about this twist and chop is that, look at that, is that it's dishwasher safe. So I love that about it. So I'm going to turn these off, and I'm actually just going to put a lid on it so we're ready to use them. Kind of helps to sear them, get them nice and smooth. But look at this. I mean, even though that avocado was so pretty hard, that is a nice little smoothness that I can add to this. But I did cheat a little bit and get some already mushed avocado. So this goes in the dishwasher, the lid goes in the dishwasher, the blade goes in the dishwasher. I'm gonna mix this together first. I'm gonna sneeze again. Okay. So we use this, the equivalent of two, what are these called? Avocados. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of the mix. This is just guacamole mix, Pampered Chef guacamole mix. I forgot, I like to add tomatoes to my guacamole. Oops. Need to put this in here. So I'm going to chop up some tomatoes. Just a couple, not very many. Those are nice and chopped. So fast, so much faster than just chopping them by hand. Especially if you don't care that they look a certain way. Use a food processor. So I love that electric twist and chop for that. And the last little thing that I'm going to add, because I make this my own, is I'm going to add a little bit of lime zest. And I accidentally cut my lime. That was not a great idea, but I did it. We're going to add a little bit of lime zest with the cup zester. Cup zester is pretty cool. We'll just grate the lime right here. Oh, I've already cut it. It's actually pretty easy to use. Scrape this. You can do lemon, lime. You could do nuts. You could do chocolate, Parmesan. I love it because on the back side there's measuring marks. We're going to give this a twist, and I don't know if you can see, there's a line right here, and that's going to basically scrape off the back of the thing. And then, oops, I forgot to take that out. And then we've got our lime zest, and we'll just add that in. So the lime zest, the reason I use the lime zest in my guacamole is because it adds the lime flavor. I like a really limey guacamole, and it adds the lime flavor, but it doesn't add the juice. So you don't have a juicy guacamole. You have still that smooth guacamole that you want. Has some substance to it. So this lid also can go on here. So if you need to save it in your fridge, maybe you're prepping the day before or whatever, just stick it in your fridge. So, all right. We're going to have to do another taste test here. And then I'm going to have to run right to the other room really quick. Pretty good. It's really good, actually. So I'm going to have to run to the other room really quick and get my guacamole saver. Be right back.
Okay.
I'm back. At least I'm at my house, right? So, okay, this is our guacamole serve and save. So we take the lid off, and we're going to put this on here, and we're going to set this just like this. Okay. So I'm not going to use this guacamole till tonight, but I do not want it to get brown, right? Oh my gosh, look at all that guacamole goodness. So good. Those flavors are going to set. It's going to be fantastic. Okay. So now I'm going to put the lid on. So guacamole gets brown, right? If you let it sit, if the air gets to it. So we're going to put the lid on, snap this lid on, flip this top up, and then we're going to push this down. One thing I didn't do is I didn't really spread the guacamole out very well to the edges. Okay, let's try this again. Oops. Okay, so I'm pushing this until I have a little guacamole coming out right here. That's for a taste test. And then we're going to pop that down, take the bottom off. This goes in your fridge. No air, no brown. How cool is that? It's called the guacamole serve and save. Only available for while supplies last. Don't drop it on the ground.
That's amazing.
Yeah, isn't that cool? That's going to be a very popular product this summer. So until we run out. Okay. Now, next thing we need to do is prep our chicken. So I'm putting the chicken in a stainless bowl. This is the smallest bowl of the stainless set. And we actually don't need all of this chicken because I'm doing half of a recipe. So I'm just going to use 2 chicken breasts. Okay. And then we're going to grab our salad choppers and we're going to chop them up. So I love the salad choppers. It's so awesome for chopping up chicken. When I get done with this, I need to preheat the air fryer. Okay, we're right on time. Okay, so you saw that chicken went in. These are salad choppers. These are also really great. When I first got them, I used to make a lot of coleslaw. I used to do a lot of fun things with them, but look at that. Chopped up chicken, so fast, so easy. If you pre-cook if you prep your chicken, like you batch cook your chicken, so easy to grab a chicken breast, chop it up. You could throw a stalk of celery in there, a little chunk of onion in there, and then chop it up and then add, you know, you throw your grapes in there, add that in, and throw in some mayonnaise when you get it all done. Boom, you've got chicken salad. So nuts, whatever you put in your chicken salad. We just got a chicken salad chick here in Colorado Springs, and I love that place. So all right, so this is the air fryer right here. So I'm going to push this brown button to turn it on. And it says, let's get cooking. And so we're going to cook on the top today. And there is a setting called stone bake. And so I'm going to put there 425, 15 minutes, and it's going to preheat. I need to put the stone in there, but I want to show you guys this stone that's just special for the air fryer. It's like 12 by 12, and it fits in the air fryer. So we're going to put it in there. This is going to preheat that stone. Yeah. Okay, so that's in there like that. These salad choppers have a lifetime guarantee. That's one of my favorite things about them. Okay. So while that's prepping, we're going to add some things to our chicken. So we're going to add our corn. And I'm just going to add all the mixtures in. So, and then we're going to add our black beans. Okay. So black beans. Oh, let me show you this cool new tool we have right here. It's called a 5-in-1 opener. We're going to use it to open the can. Has a little hole on the end. Use it to open the can. Then we're going to use the little hooks right here to pull the can up. I found it works best when you do it this way. Okay. This also works well, like if you have a spaghetti jar and instead of tapping it and possibly breaking it, you just put this on here and go like this and it pops open the can. So like this, we go like this. Okay. We need to drain this. So I brought the can strainer, but I think I'm just gonna, instead of using the can strainer, I'm gonna do it in here so that I can rinse them. And then I'm just gonna rinse them. Like I said, it's like, a lot of stuff going on the sink over here. All right.
Need to hire a dishwasher.
Oh, the dishwasher is out to lunch with a friend. Great. See this little tray right here that I have? You can see it very well. But that is our dish. That's like our over the sink rack. And
oh yeah.
Very handy to put like stuff like this on. Okay, so I need half a cup of the beans. So I just use the prep bowl to measure it. Up to the line right here is half a cup. So
I need one of those sink things because I have this. I rent, and it's a beautiful kitchen, but it's like a double sink without the thing in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's a huge sink.
Oh yeah. So it makes your sink smaller. You can dry your dishes on it. It has two folders for like utensils and small things. It's super handy. I love it. All right.
And I have a dishwasher.
Uh-huh.
So where I lived before, I didn't have a dishwasher. It was a small place. And anyway, I was there 3.5 years. So it was only me and wash my own dishes, right?
Right.
I moved here, twice the square footage. I have a dishwasher in the kitchen. I haven't used it once. And it's me and my boyfriend. Well, I'm so used to washing my own dishes, and we don't have that many dishes between the two of us. So,
right.
I'm afraid if I use it, it's not going to work.
Okay, so I have some cheese that I already grated. I'm going to show you how I grated this. We use a ton of cheese at my house, and so I buy my cheese from Costco.
I love cheese.
We just go through the grated cheese. We do tacos every Tuesday. Well, we call it's Taco Tuesday, so it's Mexican night. So I've been bored of tacos, even though my boys are never bored of tacos. I've been bored, so I've been making different things. I made like a Mexican chicken lasagna last week, which I can't remember if I posted that on Facebook or not, but I'm going to. So
what about like Taco Salad Tuesday?
Yeah, Taco Salad Tuesday, Burrito Tuesday, taco bowls, and I change up my meat every week. So I go between, they don't like ground beef. So I go between.
Really?
Yeah. So I go between chicken, pork, and flank steak, or like just cube steak or whatever,
I love flank steak.
And I do it I just do it in the pressure cooker or in the rock crock, the slow cooker, but I typically do it in the pressure cooker because I forget, and it takes like 30-45 minutes to do it in the pressure cooker, and it comes out all stringy and it's just great. So this is our cheese grater. So why do you want to grate your own cheese when you can buy it already grated? Well, for one,
it's more fresh and it doesn't have the preservatives in it.
It doesn't have the preservatives in it. It tastes better because cheese that you get in a bag is coated with stuff.
Right.
Sucrose powder, which is like a wood byproduct, which sounds like sawdust to me. So anyway, so easy to grate your cheese. This is the last of what's left of a Costco block, like a big giant block that I bought like 2 weeks ago. So we love our cheese. If you don't love cheese the way the Sotos love cheese, totally okay. Buy a Costco block, cut it into quarters, and then stick it,
freeze it,
wrap it in the in the press and seal. I like press and seal, or you can use plastic because it holds it really tight, plastic wrap, but I like press and seal because it seals it. And then stick it in your freezer. Okay, stick it in your freezer. You can wrap it in tin foil also and stick it in your freezer. That makes it really easy. Okay, so when the stone is heated, we're gonna put we'll put the chips and then this, and then we'll put our toppings on, and then we'll let this cook, and then we'll put our toppings on at the very end. I'll chop up some toppings that we're going to put on there. I can't put them on all of them because peppers and onions. So, but I'm going to show you guys how they go. So, okay. So we're just waiting for that to finish heating up, and then we'll be able to do that. So while we're waiting on that, let me get some of the stuff out of the way here. And then when I'm all done with everything, I'll squeeze some lime juice on the top. Just adds a really great flavor. So I'm going to slice some peppers to go on the top of my nachos, because, you know, what are nachos without some fresh veggies on the top? We're also going to chop some tomatoes to go on there. And these we're not going to do in this because I want them to look a certain way. So, so let's start with the tomatoes. So before I contaminate the knife, let's start with the tomatoes. All right, so super easy to chop up some tomatoes. We're just going to cut it in half. You can see how nice and sharp this knife is. And this knife is not brand new, so I've had it for quite a while. So we're just going to cut these into quarters. And then I'm going to dice it. I didn't take the juice out. You can take the juice out if you want to. You can throw it in a strainer and let it juice. I'm just kind of lazy that way. Okay, so we've got our tomatoes to go right on the top. And then the next thing we're going to do is our jalapeno. And I'm actually not going to take the seeds out of the jalapeno. I'm just going to slice it. So this is the Rapid-Prep Mandoline. Everybody always wants to see this. And I'm putting it on the flat setting. And then I want it to be kind of thick. So I'm going to put it on the 6. There's 2 dials on the back, and that determines on if you're doing just flat slices or you're doing like julienne slices like French fries or matchsticks. So we're going to twist this, and this comes up. Pull this down. It operates like a guillotine. Okay. So we are going to put the shoot. This is called a shoot right here. We're going to put the shoot on there. And then we are going to cut this in half. We're going to cut the end off first. Cut it in half. And then stick these in here like this. The only reason I'm cutting it in half is it just is a little easier to manipulate. Okay, now I cut these kind of thick, but you could cut them thinner, and then you could soak them in tequila. And then that would be really yummy to put on your margaritas. To infuse your margarita, or to infuse your tequila for margaritas. I don't know, just saying. So we've got some sliced jalapenos there. That's going to go on the top. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is the bell pepper. Okay, so we're going to take the bell pepper. We're actually going to cut it like this. This is how I like to cut bell peppers. Okay. So I'm going to pull this little membrane out right here. But as you can see, the seeds are all intact. They're not spread all over the place. And I'm going to cut this one in half too. Okay, and then I'm going to I'm going to stick these in here like this. This is kind of the long side, so stick 2 of these longer ones in here. Make them do like they're kissing, and then we'll stick this one right here. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to slice. Okay, and we're going to drop this in. Do it again. All right. So here's this. These are all kind of sliced like this, so I can put them big chunks onto my nachos. It also means they're big enough so that anybody can pick them off. You can chop them up smaller if you want to. You could use a salad chopper to chop them up a little bit smaller if you wanted to. This is perfect. Now I've got this in here, and I'm gonna, like I said, this is for later tonight for us. So I'm actually going to put the jalapenos on the side over here. This is the second part of this prep and store system. And yeah, and so I'm just going to put these lids on here, and I'm going to close this up, and then these are stored in my fridge. You can get the system, and I'll show you that in just 1 second, to store all of your foods as they're ready to go, if you prep ahead of time. All right, let me clear this area out and just get that stone out. All right. New oven mitts. Still have our old ones, but these are awesome because they have grippies on them. And they have fingers, so you can easily like grab stuff. And a lot of gloves on the market, like this, they don't have the extra protection right here. Okay, so that stone is nice and heated. So we're gonna grab our nachos, our tortilla chips. We're gonna spread on a single layer. Oops. On here. And then when I put these in here, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the air fryer. Love the air fryer. It is a great product. It's a great upgrade to our old air fryer. Okay, so we want to make sure this is all covered. And then this is what I love about these stainless bowls, is the little thumb holder. And we're just going to spread this on the top. Now I do like my peppers, my red peppers cooked. So, but instead of putting them on here, I am actually going to saute them in the pan that I did the chicken in. And I'll probably take some onion slices and do the same. And those will go on my nachos. My son doesn't like anything that resembles spicy. So that's a problem for him too. Oh, and the thing I forgot to put in here, which I'm going to have to sprinkle on the top because I forgot to put it in, is our personal homemade taco seasoning that I'm going to sprinkle on the top. So I make my own taco seasoning. It looks red, but that's turmeric. And so I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this on the top. Since I didn't mix it into the chicken. All right, so this is ready to go into, you should have mixed a tablespoon of like the chili lime or whatever seasoning into the nacho mix, the chicken and the chicken mixture. Okay. Stick this in. And it says add food right here. I'm gonna stick this in and I'll click the start button. Now this is going to cook for 15 minutes, so I'm not going to make you guys wait for another 15 minutes to see it. I'll post a picture at the end when it's done. But as you can see, this is really great. So let me tell you about this right here. This is the serve and store. Okay. So this you can get as a set with the cutting board. It comes with 3 of the containers and the little holder case. And it has these in the bottom, which you freeze. So you can freeze these so you can use them for servings. Like if you're having taco night, you could put your taco seasoning out here or your taco bar stuff out here. Or if you're having, I don't know, you're having people over and you want to have your fruit bar out here, or your veggies or whatever, you could do that. It stores in your fridge. It's about the size of a 12-pack of soda, and it slides right into your fridge just like that. The depth, even in a counter depth fridge, will fit. So that's nice and handy. These containers, there's 3 of them. They come with a divider, which is optional to use. And they come with this riser right here, so that when you put berries in here, it puts a little air in the bottom, circulates so that they don't go bad. And then it has this on the top. So if you have berries, they off gas a lot. So you want to have that be open and let that off gas. But like what I did with the peppers, I don't want that in my fridge. So I close that. Okay. So, but it's a great way to prep. Like you could, if you work during the week, you could prep, your salad ingredients, prep your stuff for dinner and put them together. Maybe you need chopped bell peppers and sliced bell peppers. You could put those both in the same container with the divider so that they have them divided. So I love these. They're dishwasher safe. It's just, I had to dig into my office upstairs to get them because they're always dirty in my kitchen. So anyway, so these are the prep and store. Love that. But that's what I'm using. That's what I put this in, is one of these, and I'll just go stick that in my fridge. So, but yeah, do you have, one more thing I wanted to do. I wanted to try, and that's this creamy jalapeno seasoning. Half a tablespoon. Okay.
Are you putting that in the sour cream?
I am. I'm going to put this creamy jalapeno seasoning in the sour cream. I'm going to put a tablespoon in with 8 ounces of sour cream. So if you've ever been to Chewy's, they make this creamy jalapeno dip. And it's very, very, it's like a ranch seasoning, basically. Like it's that consistency. So you could just add a little bit of milk to this to change that consistency. But I wanted to taste this way and see. And then what I'm going to do, what I would do with nachos, not these nachos, because again, I have to save them for my hubby, but I fill up a little, this is just a little sandwich bag, and I stick it in my measure all cup, and then I put it in there, and then I seal it up, and I cut the very tip off, and then I just squeeze it over the top of nachos. It's perfect for taco night. Put your sour cream in here, super easy if you don't have the easy accent decorator. And I like it because I use every single bit, and whatever I don't use, I just squeeze back into the sour cream container and then put it away. So I am not a single-use plastic person. As you can see, paper towels, I use reusable cloths, but that is one, Ziploc bags is one thing that I do splurge on. Okay. That's good. This is the creamy jalapeno seasoning, new for this summer. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm gonna have to add some milk to it for tomorrow and see if I can tease anybody or make, because at our life group, somebody always brings the the jalapeno stuff from Chewy's. Like every week somebody brings it. So I'm gonna add some milk to it and see if they can tell the difference.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, it's good. It has a good lime flavor, a little bit of zing. Oh my gosh, that is dangerous. I did use fat-free sour cream. So you could put that creamy jalapeno in with your avocado and make like a really creamy avocado dressing. I've made a dressing. If you have a really smooth avocado and you put sour cream and avocado in the whatever this is called, electric twist and chop. And then you can make a dressing with it because it just gets it really nice and pureed, really fine. Add a little bit, if you want to add it, make it a little bit more liquidy. Not a lot of milk, just like a little. We're talking a teaspoon at a time. But so easy. Make your own dressing. We have all kinds of seasonings that you can use to make your own dressing, your own ranch type dressing. So, but yeah, that's it. Or you could do mayonnaise and avocado. That's always good too. So, or Greek yogurt. If you really want to go healthy, Greek yogurt and avocado. So we've got 3 levels from Greek yogurt to sour cream to mayonnaise. Take your pick. So, but that's it. When the nachos come out, I will post a picture of what they look like. Oh, and I told you I would tell you about the Deluxe air fryer. So the Deluxe air fryer has 2 doors, as you can see. The bottom one is an air fryer. The top one is like a toaster oven. We have lots of things you can buy to go in it. Like there's these small oven bakeware sets. And so it has a flat, like a cookie sheet. It has a sheet with the little sides, and then it has a mini brownie pan. So that's pretty, and they can go in the oven, the regular oven also. So if you're just cooking for 1 or 2 people, this is great. I love this though, because it's nonstick and it goes in the dishwasher. I just used it for potatoes last night. So good. And then there's this pizza pan you can get. Oh my gosh, take your DiGiorno and make it like Papa John's. So good, so yummy. Just the way the crust is and the way it's cooked and everything. But here's what's cool. So last night I made dinner. And well, I did potatoes and zucchini, and I baked them, and I did them in the bottom in the air fryer. And so the potatoes took about 20 minutes to cook, and zucchini takes about 10. So there's 2 shelves in here, and they're very large. Okay. So I did my potatoes on the bottom, and there's 3 of us here that eat, 2 boys and me. But I put the potatoes on the bottom. I just quartered small red potatoes and tossed them with some oil and salt, just a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, oregano, and garlic, just like I said earlier. It's like our favorite seasoning mix. And put them on, tossed them on here, stuck them in here on the bottom for 10 minutes. And then when it gave me the beep that it was halfway, which when you have 2 trays, you want to switch them. So when it gave me the beep that it was halfway, I added in my zucchini and the zucchini and tomatoes and basil on the top. And so, and I had those in one of the other pans, the black pan that comes with it. So I did those in there. They turned out amazing. Grated some Parmesan cheese on the top. While that was cooking, I cooked my chicken in the pan over here because I was batch cooking. But I totally could have done my chicken up here. I've done chicken thighs up here. I've done, sausage. I've done all kinds of things. And it's so nice. Now, you mentioned how hot it is in Florida. So having something like this doesn't heat up your whole kitchen. So you can still have a sheet pan meal and do it in here. So sheet pan meals are great because they're healthy and they're fast and they're easy cleanup, but you can do it in here. So we have a stone that fits like I showed you, and then you can have a sink finish. So the other day I did chicken thighs, and then I did some veggies in the bottom. I did asparagus and something else, potatoes maybe. And I do the same thing with the potatoes. Like I do the potatoes for 20 minutes, and at the 10-minute mark, I add in the asparagus or add in whatever the lighter veggie is that takes less time to cook. But in the top, I was doing chicken, and that took 25 minutes to cook. And so or 18 minutes to cook. So you see, I've got these 2 different cooking times, 18 minutes and 20 minutes. But I started with sink finish, and then I set the top oven, then I set the bottom oven. And then when I hit start, it preheats, but this top oven doesn't start cooking, or it tells you, it beeps and says add food at the time that you add it so that it will all finish together. And so then everything's done together, and it's great. I made a lasagna the other night, I made a lasagna from scratch, and my husband was so funny. He asked me, he's like, why did you choose that flavor? Because it was spinach lasagna. And I said, what do you mean? I made that from scratch. And he didn't know because I had done it down here. And so while it was cooking, I had time to clean up the whole kitchen. All he saw was the lasagna. And I was like, it was in a Pampered Chef pan. It was in a 9x9 baker, but it fits in there. And the other day I did that Mexican quesadilla bake, and that was in my 10-inch cast iron, fit in the bottom there to cook it. So easy. I mean, I have this double oven over here, but that's really only for Christmas. But this is or pizza night when we have 3 different pizzas that we're doing, but anyway, I love this. There's a great addition. As you can see, it's kind of big. It takes up a lot of room, but it is worth it. It is worth it. It's so great to use in your kitchen. Save yourself a lot of time, a lot of space. And if you don't have a double oven, it's very handy to be able to do a second set of, veggies or something like that around the holidays when you need that second oven. So, but anyway, But that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're right at 1 hour, so that's what I wanted to be at. So I will see you guys on the Facebook group. Make sure you comment, throw your questions. I'll be adding there. And next week starts the online party. And so the online party will be next week, and you'll be getting some more information every single day and some more fun videos and things like that. So I hope you'll join us for that. All right. Jean, do you have anything else you want to say?
I just hope, obviously, those who couldn't be here today will go back and watch the video on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just let us know when the party ends, so we know what the deadline is.
I will. Let me try to remove the pins so that we're both on there. Yes, I will definitely. We want to place all orders, early bird orders by tomorrow, Sunday. And everybody else, if you don't care about the early bird gift, or you haven't had time to make a choice, through next Friday. Okay, so all that time. All right.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I love the recipes. They're awesome.
You're so welcome. I will post the recipes in the group. I'll post the recipes for everything in the group.
Sounds great.
I did make some changes, but I'll post the original recipes.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.